Everyone, my name is Lynette Midy, and I am part of the Digital Services Organization, serving as a Senior Engineering Manager for Digital Plan of the Day. I'm really excited to be here with you guys to share kind of reflection points of my personal career journey. So hopefully there's some key insights I can take away. I can share with you all, not take away, but share with you all. So I'll start with I graduated college in December of 2003 from the University of Puerto Rico. I moved to Puerto Rico in my teens. I was actually born in New York, and I moved to Puerto Rico in my teens without knowing much Spanish. And I studied computer science because I was the geek at home, the one that fixed all the computers, and I had a passion for that. And in January of 2004, my first job out of school was with Allstate, which is a financial services company based in the U.S., headquartered here in Illinois, in Northbrook. And I was hired as an entry-level software developer by the architecture team, the enterprise architecture team. And my role was to create an intranet website for the organization to describe the services that they would provide to the business units when it came to strategy, technical reviews, product selection, RFPs, things of that nature. And within 6 to 9 months of that first assignment, I was tapped on the shoulder by one of our leaders to be the first entry-level architect at Allstate, coming straight out of school. And I signed up for that. I didn't really know what it meant. I Google searched architect and I found like 50 different definitions. There was software architect, application architect, solution architect, lead architect, environment architect, any name you can think of, there was a title for architecture. And I said yes, not really knowing what it meant, and that turned out to be a very pivotal moment for me personally in my career. Is because I said yes, and I was kind of, thrown into working on assignments and working with people that were significantly older than me and that weren't maybe comfortable with the title that I had, and it really forced me to learn how to work effectively with other members of such a large organization, and how to work collaboratively to help co-define solutions. So, right, the architect's not here to save the day. We're here to kind of solve a business problem. Let's partner together. So I did that about 10 years. I had a very successful career as an architect, and I want to say that is insight or takeaway number one, is kind of sign up for the opportunities that scare you, or that you maybe have 20% of the expertise, and just figure it out and do it. You will survive. Within that organization, I had a tremendous opportunity to work in all areas of the company. So when it comes to financial services, I had the opportunity to work in every area of the company with the exception of claims. So when it came to how do you sell insurance, what channels do you use? Do you use people like agents? Do you use a telephone? Do you use IVR systems? Do you use mobile apps? Do you use web apps? And how do you keep the customer data? How do you keep the policy data aggregated? So we're talking about 15, 16, 20 million records of personal data, analytics around insurance history, risk analysis. So very exciting role. I had the opportunity to work on different technologies, and I didn't know them, but I had experts in my network, and I had a leadership team that was very supportive, and I was able to work on some really exciting assignments, like defining their enterprise payment card solution. So I worked on designing their credit card system that was PCI compliant. I worked on the first mobile web solution for capturing electronic signatures with the legal team. So again, very, very high visibility role with very exciting challenges, and different tech stacks like SAP, BO. Some businesses use .NET, some businesses use Java. and very kind of strategic and partnering with the businesses and understanding their technical investments and what business capabilities they wanted to invest in turn, what technical capabilities they needed to build out and how to go about funding them. So very strategic kind of role, but also very tactical in working with engineering teams and understanding how their current products or systems needed to change to anticipate accommodating directionally those projects that were going to have an influence to the systems that they support. So I want to say I did that for about 10 years, very successful. During that 10-year tenure of working across the company, I also was selected to participate in a lot of leadership programs. So insight number 2 is very early on in my career, I learned I don't need the title of a manager or an executive or a director to be seen as a leader. I can be an individual contributor and be inspirational and work effectively with others and be someone that people want to follow or are inspired to follow. And once I recognized that definition, I think it changed the way I was personally, and it made me kind of better, right? It made me realize that someone's kind of always watching. I don't get to have a bad day and bring that at work. I'm accountable to kind of bring my best self and kind of make the best of the situation and execute on the objectives that my team and that the business is holding me accountable to. So I think recognizing that even if you're an entry-level developer, even if you're a fresher coming straight out of school, you are a leader when you take on decisions for the greater good of the team, or you decide to take on extra work, or that you're kind of considered a go-to person. And I think that's something that's kind of very, very key or insightful item number 2 for me personally in my career. Coming back to the professional journey, after 10 years of being within architecture and getting promoted to bonus level, I kind of decided I had maxed out my architecture expertise, and I really wanted to have accountability for managing a team. And so I joined a smaller subsidiary of Allstate called Allstate Roadside Services, and I was an engineering manager for their strategic initiatives, and my accountability was to build out their digital products. So historically, roadside services is a business where people call to get rescued. I was brought in to kind of build out a digital dispatching platform and a way to rescue customers through mobile web, mobile app, and eventually APIs, so application programming interfaces. And I did that for about 2.5 years. Had an amazing opportunity not only to work from a direct to consumer, right, business to consumer, but we also had products that were retail, B2B, B2B2C. We had B2C, direct to consumer, and we had B2B. So what's really cool about working in that services business is I had the opportunity to kind of build products for one kind of customer and then determine how do we scale that product so that all customers can use that, and maybe we change the branding. And so after the first product that we built was called Good Hands Rescue, which is available today on the web. If you Google search it, we have it in mobile app form. And we were able to take Good Hands Rescue and package that under other partner brands like GM, Ferrari, Mercedes, with like 5 hours of implementation effort. And part of that experience really led me to understand, I think, the differences of a services company, how they generate revenue, how digital products have an influence on operational cost savings. So I'm really passionate about making sure I work on products that are adding business value, and very sensitive to making sure that I understand that, given that in the past I did have kind of financial accountability for the digital products and ensuring that they were having bottom line impact. Talking about insights on career perspectives, I want to say one of the scariest things I did while in that role is I actually attended the Grace Hopper Conference, which is kind of the largest women in tech conference in the world. and I was able to present on behalf of Allstate our Good Hands Rescue API product. So we deployed services that could be used by vehicle manufacturers to have like the car call for a digital rescue. And I was able, there was like 9 months of prep into that, legal review, executive presence training. How do you answer questions if you have questions on the product? What can you share? That was probably one of the scariest things I did, is present to such a large audience. And I think I lost a lot of weight during that time, but you know what? I survived. So major insight from me is continue to push yourself and take on assignments that really scare you. Because when it's all said and done, you will be so proud of yourself, of the personal transformation journey and kind of what you've learned kind of, coming out of that, and how resilient you were and how much growth you gained, and kind of getting to that other side and being like, oh, checkbox, I can do presentations, or I feel comfortable going on stage and I can speak. So that was really exciting. So going back to now the professional career, very exciting, challenging career with Allstate. And one of the things I reflected being there 13 years is like, holy cow, I've been here 13 years. I can't be here the rest of my life. I need to go out and venture in the world and see what other challenges, what other IT challenges do other organizations have. And I want to say in 2017, I resigned. And prior to resigning, interesting story, is Jamie Miller, who's the CFO, at that time I think was the CIO of transportation, or the CEO of transportation, and she was a guest speaker for the executive team at Allstate. And she talked about GE and GE's transformational journey and the exciting digital transformation journey that they were going through, and their goal to attract women in digital and career paths. And I never forgot that presentation, and that is what led me here to GE today. So I've been with GE 2 years. Thank you, Jamie, for opening and putting GE on the map for me. At that moment in my career, we were trying to create a telematics product and partner with the vehicle manufacturers so that we can sense tire deflation and battery drainage. And I want to say it was so hard because there isn't equivalent IEC standards like there is in the wind turbines. There is mass anarchy in the vehicle manufacturing standards, and I was frustrated at how difficult it was going to be to create a profitable telematics product that had diagnostics included. And hearing Jamie made me feel like, wow, though, GE has their stuff figured out. All of our toll gates and financial processing and all of our leadership is based off of GE. I want to go join GE because I know I'll make it and it'll be exciting. So, little minor story. So, that's what led me here today. I joined GE as a technical product manager for other products like asset performance management and eSCADA, and I've never looked back. It's been really exciting to join GE and join renewable energy. And even though wind turbines scare me because they're like so big and the hardware is massive and there's like so many pieces that you have to learn, it's exciting to see what we can do with the data and how we can provide value and productivity to our technicians. I think it's amazing. Execution is the only thing in our way, guys. Amazing opportunities within digital services space. Okay, so now 3 mantras, takeaways to grow better in our careers. Item number 1, never stop learning. So after I graduated college, I did a master's in business information technology because I thought, even though I had the computer science background, I didn't understand enough of the business. And so I did a master's of science in business information technology. I took a lot of electives in marketing and business architecture and user experience design. And I really think that helped me with understand like the words for practices that we do in the software engineering space, as well as in the business space when it comes to strategy, product selection, vision setting, etc. I also had a lot of leadership training at Allstate, a lot of stretch assignments, and a few certifications sprinkled here and there to help me get more effective. So never stop learning. If you're in this space, unfortunately, your competency and the skills that you know that you learned last year are going to be outdated. So you have to have a practice and goals of kind of learning new languages. So have a plan, write that plan, execute the plan, and learn, right? Insight number 2, take on assignments that scare you. Reflecting back on my career, I was really scared to leave the title of architect and like manage teams and have accountability for managing teams. And I want to say that was such a pivotal moment for me personally, because I learned how much I love coaching, my team members and enabling them to bring their best selves and be their best selves at work. And it's inspiring to help them make the most of their career, right? So I love that leadership aspect of kind of inspiring people and helping them really reflect on what they want to do and giving them assignments to help them be successful, matching them with mentors and coaches. I'm super passionate about that. So take on assignments that scare you. You will always learn something from it, and you'll be super glad that you went through that growth experience. Takeaway number 3, as a female in tech, as a mom in tech, as a woman in tech, holy cow, bring your whole self to work, right? Oftentimes in my career, especially being entry-level architect, I was probably the only minority in a room trying to set the direction for like architecture standards, or there weren't a lot of female role models that I could look up to, or there wasn't someone that could tell me what career path or what technology should I learn or what courses I should take. And so I've had to learn to be comfortable with being vulnerable, understanding that I need help, that I don't know everything, but just bringing my whole self to work. There is no Lynette at home and Lynette at work. This is who I am. I'm a mom. I'm a woman in tech. I'm a person that doesn't know every single programming language, but I'm interested in constantly, reading about books and practicing new skills. And I think that's very key, right? Is be comfortable bringing your whole self to work. Make sure you have a community and have people in your community that can help you, that you can share, and that you can be vulnerable and that you can grow with. At the end of the day, this is your career. You kind of own it. So, make sure that you have people in your community that can help you understand your blind spots and help you be successful. So I think that is it. Hopefully this is insightful. And hopefully you guys can see the personal journey that I put together will be attached to the video. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and best of luck to everyone participating and reflecting on their career. Hopefully the exercise is as valuable for you guys as it was for me, kind of reflecting my 15-year journey. So thank you. Bye.